Oh, yeah. I cannot believe that Ministry wrote and performed our theme song. Unreal. Uncle Al.
He loves you.
I love him so much. I would be in that band.
You should join that
There's
band.
only room for one of us, dude.
I mean, the other thing is they've got, Sin has been a lifelong, I couldn't step on anybody's
2006, I think, is him.
toes. Yeah. What do you think the title of this particular track is?
Dark Matter! Dark Matter!
Dude, what I want to do at some point is I want to do a Al Jorgensen, Rob Zombie mashup.
Oh, absolutely.
With the Yaz in between Ministry lines.
For people that have been with us for a long time, you used to do the Yaz quite a bit over the
Elastica Jam.
Yes.
That was my
we
shit.
should pull some of that up.
Yeah.
Do a little hypercut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we have a lot of questions coming up tonight. And we have an American artist, a pioneer of the graffiti culture and world from the East Coast, my buddy RIME. And I don't know what's going to happen because we're going to talk about the week we spent together. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a little bit about how we met, and we're going to talk about the future for us and for all of us. And it might get a little intense.
I'm excited.
What I'm saying is most of you guys have to go to a whole nother channel to get your TED Talks. You don't even have to tune away with us.
Dave Talks.
We're doing TED Talks.
I love it.
But the good TED Talks.
The ones that matter.
Yeah, the ones that aren't full of all kinds of conspiracy theories and hogwash. So this will be good because RIME and I have bonded. We had a little, what I like to call a ceremony over the week.
I call it something too.
It was very healing. And phone lines are open. What's the number, Jess?
323-230-4445. And if you guys don't know, our show is on iTunes, and you should go there and download it the next day and rate it and leave a review. That'd be very helpful.
It helps us immensely.
You know what would be great is if you hate this show, but if you still give us a rating, it would be nice. Yeah. Give us a good rating, and say, I hate it, but, they seem like nice guys. They're trying.
Exactly.
They're trying.
Don't judge us solely on Jess's personality. We have redeeming
Please don't do that.
We wouldn't have a shot. We wouldn't have a shot. Also, the store. Tell us about the store. Merch. Merch is a big deal. Nobody's telling anybody about it. Why don't you guys make a little ad and throw it up there and send me stuff and say, hey, Dave.
I have, but you seem to miss a lot lately.
I do?
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing inner work. Mm-hmm.
We should outfit Dave in all of our merch.
Also find Liam Lynch.
Uh-huh. Oh, that guy's great.
He's so great. There's a song that I want you to find. But anyway, go ahead, Jess.
I was just going to say we should outfit you in all of our merch and take some photos of you.
That's a good idea.
I'll do it.
Let's do it.
Fucking do it.
But go to darkmattershow.com. There's links there for all of our merch. You can listen to our show. You can subscribe. You can join the fan club.
Mm-hmm. And with the merch, let me tell you personally, what we have up there is a quick design that I did while I was in New York shooting Ink Master. Mm-hmm. There's many more to come. We have 4 creative heads here at that show, and we can all turn in designs. And I seriously think there needs to be a coffee cup with Jessica's portraits of all of us.
We've talked about that for a long time.
Yeah, shit like that. So,
absolutely.
And also, if there's any Life After Death merch, I will also make it available on that site, we
can literally have this available tomorrow if you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to make the stuff.
Give me a file and
figure out what I want.
Yeah, all good.
So, go there, get some merch, subscribe, leave comments, join the fan club, email list, and we have stuff we're sending out soon, right?
Yeah, iRings for the first 50 registered users. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so those will be on the way for the first 50.
Figure when we wait 10 years to do a website, we should come out with a bang, do some cool shit. But, Dave, how are you doing, buddy?
What's that?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good.
You seem good tonight.
I do, don't I?
I like it.
Yeah. It's the earth. It's Mother Earth healing me.
I'm going to step out for a bit.
You lost Dan. Dan doesn't.
No, I mean, Dan, when you walked in and you're rooted to the ground and you're part of the earth, nothing can go wrong.
Okay.
When you stay connected to the earth, you're staying present. And that's what I'm doing.
That's I'm living. I'm just speaking my truth.
I know, but what I'm talking about, let's talk about levels of comfortability in this present moment.
All right, let's do it.
I'm perfectly at ease. How you feeling?
Cameron, you are.
How do you figure?
That's a Big Lebowski line.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm doing really good. I feel good today.
no, but am I making you uncomfortable?
Every second of every day.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, doing
See,
great.
I'm. That's what I'm saying, man. That's your.
That's my
Hey,
problem.
man, that's your baggage to carry,
You're just being you.
and you can drop it at any time. It's a choice, Dan.
trying.
It's that simple. It's a choice.
The bottom is wherever you stop digging.
Oh shit. Wow.
Todd
that.
Newman just said it,
We have a phone call.
We have a
and
phone call.
I
Dave.
will later repeat it and originate it.
Okay. Yeah, you could take credit for it.
Your shaman is on the line.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. It is great that you guys have been around. Seems like a very long time. Has it been like 15 years?
Yes.
10, I think.
No, it's been like
Well,
12.
I
Since
count-
like 2008.
I want to count back to Camp Freddy Radio, was where I
that's
started
what I'm
working with
talking about.
Jess.
I listened to you guys in 2004 in New Orleans.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I think that's when you started.
2004. So
You might have done Camp Freddy in 2004. I don't think I started working with you till like 6 or 7.
Like we had TK or something, but I've been in radio 15 years.
Yeah.
Camp Freddy Radio was
amazing.
great.
It was
It
amazing.
was great.
It was fun.
Yep. I kind of feel
You
like
guys got to revive that. There's got to be some recording where you can throw it up on iTunes.
you and
People would love
Morrison,
it, or YouTube, or
Royal
something.
Machines Radio.
Royal Machines Radio would be good.
I'll switch out Freeze and whoever, have like just 2 guys from the band every week.
I know. That would be nice if there was more hours in the day. However, what is on your mind, bud?
So today I got a vasectomy, and was wondering if any of the guys had ever considered it or done it.
I have. I'm
I have.
clipped.
You have it too?
And I didn't do it. You did it?
Yeah.
How was it for you?
It was hot.
So this has been an ongoing issue in my home for 2 years.
Really? Why? What's your issue?
I want to get one, but I'm a bit of a procrastinator. And she is like, please get this done because she doesn't want to be on
Yeah,
birth
dude,
control
just
anymore.
get it. It's
Yeah,
a,
you
I
should
know.
just
you do it.
I just.
You
You
jump.
gotta do it, bro.
You go in there.
How much did you pay for it?
500.
Okay, I'll do it. Because Todd gave me the number to a guy and it was like $1,500. I thought I took my whole dick off.
Yeah,
or
because the
something.
guy that I go to is the guy that knows how to do it for real, not this $500. This guy's gonna be popping
But we don't
out a
know where
kid
this
in
guy
9 months.
lives.
He's probably in New
The
Mexico.
high
I
end.
bet he's probably in New Mexico.
This guy, he went to the
One of
rusty
most
knife guy.
expensive-
Where are
one
you?
of the most expensive parts of California.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do got to get it done.
Dude, well, let me just save you. Let me save you a little time. Next time, I could totally perform that procedure at my house.
Do you know I've
Because
actually...
you know the anatomy of a dick so well.
I figure, look, if you give me a sharp object and say, make that not work anymore,
You could do it.
I could do it. Figure it out.
Dave,
Dave-
I'll come back.
You know what I mean? Like, I figure out how to make a penis stop working.
Dave does it painlessly with his tongue, but it takes like 4 hours. It's great.
To ease you into it.
Put it back when I change my mind.
There you go.
Yeah, dude, just do it because it's literally you go in, it gets done, you're uncomfortable for a couple days, you forget that you had it done. After
Like, what's your
2
pain
weeks
level?
later. My pain level?
Like 1 to 10 of like if someone was going to get it
It's
done.
no,
like,
there's no pain. It's
Well,
you
Don
get
has a lot of emotional
No pain at all.
yeah. I can
Right
handle
now, I'm
anything
going through it.
physical. I just can't
Emotionally?
handle emotional.
But, bro,
pain.
let's get to the real question here is like, why do you insist on blowing loads everywhere? Carefree. Everybody works out for him. Women's rights, people, except, you know what? I'm just going to blow loads
Listen,
and
listen,
consequence
bitch.
free.
I'm going to come in you, and there's nothing you can do about
Yeah,
it.
man, that's kind of
That's nice.
Dude, that's kind of rapey.
You're
Kind of having too many kids and I'm done.
yeah.
Or that. Yeah,
That was
that's another
my-
option.
The earth doesn't need more people.
That was my reason. 2 and done.
I'm leaning towards you being a fucking predator.
I got 3 kids and I'm done.
Did you? Let me ask you a question.
Dan, get CPS on the phone.
You have to ejaculate like up to 50 times before you go back to get checked to make sure that the procedure
Bullshit.
worked.
My thing says 25 and I'm doing 25. I ain't doing no 50.
I can crank that out in literally 3 days.
I know, like what? Like, why is masturbation such a horrible thing for you, bro? Like, get all fucking
It's like,
angry
please
with
don't
me.
make me do that.
I'm not
I-
touching my dick more than 25 times.
No, but I relate to him because I don't want to do that. I'd rather have somebody else do that.
Yeah, but
Seriously, like, Dave,
Yeah.
I've heard you say before, like, you don't masturbate, you don't watch porn. And that's a good thing because it fucking desensitizes the
Well,
fuck
no.
out of you.
I have since watched porn. and started masturbating quite frequently.
That was back when he was lying to himself and
Yeah.
wasn't aligned with.
That's
the
when
earth.
I was. That's when I felt. That's when I was stuffing away the reality because my feelings. I was ashamed, and but I've evolved. As I told you, I'm in touch with Mother Earth today,
Yeah.
What is your
and the four winds. Let's not forget to thank them.
And your own cock.
what is your masturbatory schedule now? Is it daily?
Yeah, in fact, I gotta take a break in about 6 minutes.
I'll
And then,
join you.
yeah.
I'm a little behind as well.
Yeah, man.
I usually
how many
crank-
for the day? What are you up to?
None today. I'm usually at least once by now.
Slacker.
I usually one in the day, one
Whatever.
at night.
Whatever.
I was
You're probably
busy
a
today.
gurgler too.
I am. I sputter.
Well, so disgusting.
It barely comes out the hole, then dribbles down my knuckles.
It's like a
goes-
tube of toothpaste.
Yeah, it's
Kind
like a.
of.
I'm fucking aiming for the fucking lights.
You know when you
The end of
overfill
the shampoo.
when you overfill a cup of water?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it does.
You know, at one time, Jess, when I was in high school,
Yes.
I blew out a girl's lower vertebrae.
with a load.
Yeah, like it blew out the back.
I used to shoot.
L5,
Slipped her disc.
L5 to L7 had to be surgically. No,
Put back together.
is it? I can't say shit like that anymore. Let's talk
Sure
about
you
that.
can. Yeah, you totally
we
can.
can't have.
can.
No, you know what, man?
can.
There is no free speech anymore.
There is. We're doing it now.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
can
we're
say
doing.
that.
We are doing it.
No, if it was free speech, I wouldn't be going. Are these close enough to the boundaries? Am I okay? Blah blah blah.
Because
You know
you're,
what I mean?
you just
Okay, so this is.
Oh,
about,
you're still there?
12 years ago, you and you and Todd had the best two stories, and one of them was you and some girl on the side of a car, and Todd was right there.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. What's the other one?
So that's one you can't tell anymore. Times have changed. And
Oh,
the
I
other
know
one,
you can
Todd
tell it.
went
It's
to
nothing.
blow
There was no
himself.
assault taking place.
Yeah,
Wait,
it
wait,
was
no, no.
consensual
I didn't say
and
there
people were there and it was like fine. There's no reason to not that story should be offensive in any way.
Except
to
the
anybody.
truth is, Todd was holding her down. That's the truth of the matter.
I mean, we left
1, 2, 3, 4.
we left that out. We left that out, and on the rebroadcast, we will be sure to cut that out. Okay. Make sure we do that. But yeah, we're free with the stories, man. But you know what? It's all about how you treat each other, man. In the end.
What is the other story?
Hey, what's the other second story?
Was Todd the story he told about blowing himself?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where I almost broke my neck.
I like the one where Todd's coming and his mom walks in.
Yeah, that was enough.
Hyperspace.
Yeah,
in
when I was
hyperspace.
in hyperspace. Yes.
Couldn't you come in like a tub of ice cream or something too?
I didn't come in it.
No,
It was
no.
a tub of yogurt.
No,
It was a tub of yogurt
no,
and I fucked
no,
it.
it's not that.
What?
He came, he heated up a cucumber.
Yeah,
Came in it.
That's another
and
story.
Put it back in the fridge, and like his family made a salad with it.
No, he fucked a girl with it and then put it back in the fridge, and then her family ate it.
Oh, is that what
after,
it was?
After he burned
If
her.
you want to be poignant about the story, I didn't put it back into
You're such
just
a
the fridge.
bad person.
I put it in the crisper. That's the funnier word when you're telling the story. The crisper.
And then there's also the one where Todd was jerking off in the back of a station wagon and
Oh,
caught
yeah.
in,
yeah.
in the hockey gear and
Yeah,
caught
no,
eyes
I-
with the mom.
yeah,
The mom made
she
eye
busted
contact
me.
with the
And
mirror.
She never
jerking off in her station wagon.
How old were you then?
And she's still
Like 35.
and she's still wet.
Yeah. Oh man,
All
good
right, man.
times.
Thanks for the trip down memory lane.
No problem, guys.
Thank you,
Have a
buddy.
good night.
Here's
Bye.
You
something. You called me the other night.
I
and
did.
A
I did.
conversation came up because you asked me a question about a song.
Yeah. I was listening. You know what? I was listening to Faster Pussycat.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
haven't heard
Bathroom
about that.
wall.
Write your number on the bathroom wall.
So do you remember the question that you asked me though? Do you remember why it
I
was
stopped
that you called?
stopped the song, and I'm like, bro, let me ask you a question.
Well, wait, before you say that,
Yeah.
he calls and he goes, "Bro, we got to we need to talk."
And you're like, oh shit.
And it's something, I don't know if you want to answer it now and get into it or if you want to think about it, which by then I'm friends with him long enough. I'm like, here comes some mundane bullshit funny thing because I know he's not serious. And say what the question was as soon as you're done choking on Mother Earth.
It's a natural expectorant.
I can tell.
Expectorant.
It's Earth's expectorant. All right.
Okay, so you call me.
Yeah, and I'd say, hey, man, why, if he wants this girl's phone number, he's obviously a rock star. He wants a girl's number, and then he's obviously in the same vicinity as her. Why would he need her to write the number on the bathroom wall and go get it from there? Why wouldn't he just go up to her and go, "Hey, let me get your number"?
It's a very good question.
Yeah. So I had the answer to it. I said, well, that's not what he says. What he says is got your number off the bathroom wall. And it's about time I made the call. So I'm like, it makes sense like that.
And I looked at, I really, really evaluated it. And I was like, you know what? That's probably right. That is the perspective.
Oh, no, you went back and checked.
I checked the lyrics. I was freaking out.
It's valid.
Yeah. And so now, I owe Faster Pussycat an apology.
You've been singing their lyrics wrong for 40
because
years.
when they came out, Jane's Addiction was out. It was like 1985 and 1986. They ran fucking Sunset Boulevard. And their singer, Tammy, had a club called the Cat House with Ricky Rackman. It was one of the best places to go. Fun, drinks, loose morals, 90s, 80s kind of metal scene. And Faster Pussycat was like one of those bands that when they came out, all of our bands were just like, ugh, this is terrible. This is fucking terrible. Basic, blah, blah, rock and roll and whatever. But they were a massive movement, And then I always wrote it off as just like, oh, that's just, that's that cute little band that does their thing. And then I listened back like the other day. That's why I called Todd. And I was just like, here's what's so magical about recordings like that is like now in hindsight, I'm hearing youthful abandonment, youthful abandon and excitement and enthusiasm and a gang of dudes that we're going to look like this and they really mean it and their whole fucking lives are around it. Mm-hmm. It's really, it's like those guys really did well, man. 'Cause good for them.
Did you know them?
Oh, yeah.
You're the buddies? Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, you're just in the same circles.
Same circles, right. Yeah, of course. It was like the club scene, LA club scene back in the 80s, which was a lot of really great bands coming up. What do we got?
No, I was going to say, Dan was telling us earlier that we started into a conversation about how that's a common thing, that most people have a song that they know from their youth or their childhood or whatever, where you thought the lyrics were one thing and it always evolves into another thing. And Dan, if you want to tell what yours was.
The George Michael song, Father Figure.
Uh-huh.
I sang it as a kid. I thought he said, "I will be your father's finger," and I honestly thought it was like an admission of pedophilia when I was a kid. I'm like, that's so fucking gross.
Which brings,
I will be your father's finger. Put your tiny hand in mine.
Get the hell out of here!
Wait, father's finger.
The tiny hand, he says.
Now
that's really crazy.
Yeah.
I think that what you think it is says so much about your personality.
I don't know about that.
It does. Now,
it reveals more about you than anything else.
Right. Now, what's yours?
Because sometimes you hear what you want to hear, Dan.
You guys never let me finish. That's my friend said that, not me.
I think your friend hears what he wants to
hear.
hear.
You have Dave Navarro.
What's mine?
You have one from the film Grease
that
we've been talking about for years.
Homogeneity belong to yesterday.
So you think that he used to think that word was homogeneity.
Oh yeah, that classic word.
Which it's actually conventionality. And
it's mine's better.
Yeah, but
think about it. Homogeneity. That sounds so
Why
much
would
better.
you think that that's what it is? It's not even a real word. That's
what it sounded like.
I had a similar thing with the theme song to Full House. Oh wait,
really?
Which one was whatever happened to predictability?
I don't
the
know.
milkman, the paper boy.
Everywhere you look.
With weird 30s.
I thought the word predicted. Whatever happened to the diptididity? Right. I didn't know it was predictability. Whatever happened
to
the
make up
diptididity?
fucking words like the dictididity.
We all just start scatting. When we
I
don't
think
know.
we have a phone call.
All right, let's check it out. Hi, you're on Dark Matter. Who's this?
It's Adam. Hey.
Adam, how are you?
No.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam.
Oh my God! Now, Adam, I understand that it's funny that this is Todd's brother calling in right now, Adam Newman. Let's hear it for him. All right, so Adam, now I understand that you had your similar song of your own that you misinterpreted as a youth.
So most of the songs I misinterpreted, because you got to remember, I grew up with lyrics like "I am the walrus, goo goo gajoob." So I never thought twice about weird lyrics.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
two of them were I discovered because I was like singing along when it was playing on the radio in someone's car, and they were like, "What the fuck did you just say?" You know, I thought it was wrong. So the number one is Steve Miller Band. I'm going to do my rendition. It's not that good because I can't sing. Oh, big old Chet at a lineup.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. So he used to think big old jet airliner was big old Chet at a lineup. Now, much like you,
That sounds totally.
I have something really important to say, Adam.
Again, it's better. And Adam, there's a secret here that you don't know that Todd's going to reveal.
I'm going to come clean to you on the air. Now, I don't know if you heard me say to Dan like how much it says about a person what they think that the lyrics are. And Dan's obviously a pedophile.
Stop you for a second.
Uh-huh.
I will be your father figure. I have to take a break in about 30 seconds to go, you know.
To go rub one out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
like that improved the song for you. For him, it improved.
So
I'm saying it is like
Daddy.
You know,
so here I lived.
I'm sorry I interrupted.
Okay, so I've lived with you my entire life, and you know, I always knew that you were gay. I had my I had my suspicions, but then when you revealed to me that you thought it was big old Chet at a lineup, I'm like, oh, that's confirmation my brother's definitely gay. Because to think that it's like some big dude named Chet in some male, like whether it's a sports lineup or a criminal lineup, it's like a male lineup. I was like, oh man, my brother's
somebody
gay.
menacing for sure.
It's gayer than blowing a dude.
That could take Adam, you know what I mean?
So that was
control
you know,
his body.
I know you came out to me many years later, but that was the moment when you came out to
Well,
me.
that was clearly on my mind, you know, since that song came out in 1972.
Exactly.
What's the other one?
So the other one, I have three. So the ones that I discovered because I was singing, you know, in front of people, and they said, "What the fuck are you saying?" So the other one is talking about tally ho, whoa ho, ho ho, tally ho, and that's China Grove by the
China Grove,
Tally ho.
Tally ho.
Oh, tally
Catching
ho.
those foxes in red coats. Tally ho.
That's really good.
Talking about tally ho.
All right. And what's
Love
the last
it.
one? Because we got to move this thing along here.
All right, so the last one is like every song by the Bee Gees. I don't really know the lyrics.
Oh, nobody
But,
does.
For Staying Alive from
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever, I thought it was we can try to understand the New York Times, the paper man.
And what is it actually?
Don't make the man, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean,
It
that's
is.
what I
Paper man.
think it is.
New York
That
Times
makes-
don't make the man.
That makes perfect
It
sense.
also
though.
works, yeah.
But did you ever know the lyrics after that?
Extra, extra. Read all about it.
Wait,
Here
wait.
comes the paper man.
No. Check it out.
What?
The lyrics before Staying Alive. The first pass. Do you know
Whether
those
you're a
words?
mother,
Well, you
whether
can
you're a
tell.
lover.
Yeah,
staying
you know all
alive.
those?
Yeah.
So what are they?
I have to hear the song to like.
Well, Staying Alive.
Staying
Use your mind's eye, bro.
My wife used to think it was staying arrive.
So dumb. Frank had one too that he used to misunderstand.
Yeah, it
La
was
Bamba?
the actually, now that you mention it, no, it was just the Hendrix one. The excuse me while I kiss this guy. I thought, yeah,
Another one for
So
Adam.
everybody's ones are gay.
Mine's
Yeah.
not
Little
gay.
bit.
Mine's not gay.
Is mine gay?
Well, homogeneity sounds like it's
Homo.
homos.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
And mine,
it's
by the
close.
way, I'm thinking about fucking my daughter, not my son. So
Okay.
mine, I'm a
You're
bad
still
person,
straight.
but I'm
You're
straight.
still straight.
I'm not a filthy gay like you
Pound
guys.
it out. Freaks.
I'm trying to think. I do it all the time, but I can't think of any specific songs that. No,
I used to
I do.
think.
I still do it.
I used to
I
think.
just want something but a baby calf. Because you're vegan.
Thank
Do you get
you.
it?
I used to think the song "Drive My Car" by the Beatles was "Baby, You Can Suck My Cock." No, I
So stupid and great. Sing it, will you?
no, I do have one though.
You can suck my cock.
I do have one. I don't know if you're familiar with Megadeth. You know the song "Peace Sells"?
Yeah.
Peace sells, but who's mine? I used to think it was "Peace sells, but who's gonna suck my cock?"
And with that, we will take a break. We will be back in a moment. I'm going to go downstairs and explore the environment. Good to be back. And we are now joined in studio live with my buddy, RIME. Welcome to the show, bud.
What's going on?
We have just been actually kind of been doing a free form thing. And I know that, you know, our audience wants to hear about you. They want to hear about your work. We want to hear about what you're interested in and what you're up to now. But I thought it would be a nice way to get into it is to talk a little bit about how we met. I know that you're on your phone, but would that be something you would agree with?
I'm sending
He's sending me
the
something.
shaman jam.
Yeah, I know.
I'm multitasking.
I understand. Not really, though.
Just get it up.
Ryan, you're actually
one
just,
tasking.
Just get it up and I'll write it in there.
you're not
All
really
right, there we go.
multitasking.
That solves the problem. So I should put these headphones on?
If you'd like to hear what we're talking about, yeah, put
It's
them
good.
on.
It's like I can hear you right here. It's
But
like,
bro, you're gonna enter another dimension.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm putting a condom on when I'm putting this shit on.
No, dude, you're entering a dimension.
Oh, there you
That's
go. It
right.
sounds like
Right.
the radio right now.
That's right.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I'm talking about. Now you know. Now you exactly. So RIME is one of the world's premier original old school graffiti writers.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm old school
What would you say?
because the people older than me are old school.
I know, but to us, you're old school.
I
Or
guess.
to them, I guess. To me, we're peers.
I've been writing graffiti for 28 years, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that old school?
It's a long time.
To me, I've been in Jane's Addiction 30 years, and I'm like, that's 30 fucking years I've been doing the same thing. Like, you know, you've dedicated your life to it. So,
Right, but would you be classic rock?
Yeah.
yeah, we get played on classic rock stations.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now,
But do you feel like you're classic rock?
oh, man, it depends on how my back's doing. You know, some mornings I wake up and I got that classic rock spine. I'm like, oh, man.
You know,
Turn on KLOS and let's hear Been Caught Stealing, huh? Play it one more time for the old man.
I feel like classic rock. It's a matter of perspective. So for me,
Yeah.
it's like Led Zeppelin or something like that. It's
For
like,
sure.
like classic rock.
But for me, you can call anything what you want to call it, but to me, it's just music. It's just art. It's just, you know, it is what you do. It's who you are. It's very expressive, and you've evolved into a completely original, new kind of take on, you know, your work has progressed so expansively since you first started writing. And maybe you want to talk a little bit how that journey took place.
Word. Well, I mean that's what we're supposed to do as human beings, right? We're supposed to make moves.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think that for some of us, we kind of we try to master a tradition a bit, and then from there, what do? Like, okay, well, I'm supposed to contribute something.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into graffiti. For me, I started writing graffiti in New York City when I was 12. I was living in the borough of Staten Island.
What years was this?
This was like 91.
Okay.
I've been interested in graffiti since, I don't know, 85, 86.
Okay.
But I never had...
Is that when the Warriors came out? Because that was the big.
Nah.
That was the 70s.
That was.
Yeah, that's the 70s.
That's for us. That's
It-
when we were like, whoa, where's that?
As theatrical as the Warriors was or is, when you watch it, it's funny they haven't made like a Broadway version of it.
I know.
Yeah.
It should be a musical at this
It
point.
should be.
Which I would love.
It would
for
actually
that to
be
happen.
That would sell. But anyway, carry on because I also want to get into what
Yeah.
we're.
I'm saying if they're going to make fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show, they might as well make the Warriors
Yeah.
on Broadway.
Yeah.
You know?
But so your work evolves and you're giving back in a new way. But I think then, like to start this conversation, I think would be really interesting to talk about how we met.
Yeah.
Which-
Well, I wrote graffiti. I've been writing graffiti for a long
Yeah.
time. I've
Give us the back.
become accomplished at it as best as you can, but it's, you know, it is what it is. And I've been doing it a long time. I began making paintings more seriously. I make paintings. I have fun with my friends, and I find ways to, have fun in different places and travel and, get paid and make money to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll never apologize for taking a check for playing my guitar. It's something I love. You know what I mean? So explain a little bit to those of our listeners who don't know just how, I think most of them more so know about the tattoo culture because it's a little bit more broad right now that, there are levels of respect and unwritten rules and kind of codes among tattooers, and the same thing goes with the graffiti world. And when those codes are violated, it's a tremendous sign of disrespect. And I don't think that part has really landed on many of our listeners.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So, I mean, you do graffiti for long enough, you're just going to end up painting in places where people don't really want to be. You actually seek them out. A lot of times when I travel to different cities in different countries, I most often will not even go to a lot of the tourist attractions or places. It took me 9 times before I even saw Notre Dame that burnt down.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? I've been there probably like 35 times, and the last time that I was in Paris was the first time I saw Notre Dame. It's just, I've been underneath Notre Dame, like I've been down in the catacombs.
Yeah, wow.
On mushrooms and stuff like that, and we put in femur bones and all that shit. Yeah. But I've never actually been to the site.
Right.
And it's just that I've developed a behavior of going into where people actually live or don't want to live, and leaving something there.
Yeah. But a little bit about the code of of how working with other people.
Yeah. Well, so
and then it's public space, so there's a hierarchy and a code.
You're on point, man. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. I'm bringing it around.
All right. So thank you. When you end up going to these seedy places and stuff, you have to deal with seedy motherfuckers. And, you end up positions where people are pulling out guns or trying to assault you, or you're dealing with people who are from that neighborhood writing on walls too. And they may be more wild than you are. Maybe they'll pistol whip you for painting over their name. You got to deal with all of that type of stuff. And, it's stressful. It's high anxiety, painting, let alone painting illegally, but painting and dealing with those type of people.
Yeah.
Before, during it, or after, because you put your name in the wrong place.
Right. And so I'm well aware of this. I've been well aware of that ethical code of respect on the street. You don't fuck with somebody else's work. So we can fast forward because I want to get into where we are today.
Yeah, let's talk about that shit.
Yeah, so let's get there though. So there's a timeline. So I'm in New York. I see a spot off the freeway. I'm like, fuck, I gotta hit that spot. Pull over. I cross the freeway. There's a ladder on the roof of this thing. I put the ladder up. I see this piece. I'm like, okay. I tape my piece up. It's right above it. And then a big gust of wind.
A stencil is what you mean.
Yeah,
just so
stencil.
people listening.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's
tape
a
up your
stencil.
stencil. Yeah.
I don't do what RIME does. I cut out little pictures. So I paste the stencil up there, and then it's perfect. And a gust of wind comes, and it goes, and you kind of lose sight of it. You know what I mean? And it slipped down a little. I got done, and I bumped something that had been done, and they were bubble letters, and I could see. I was like, "Fuck, this is going to be a problem." You know what I mean? And I didn't sign it. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. So I call our mutual friend Tommy, and I say, dude, this looks like a problem to me. What can I do about this? And he was like, oh man, you had to hit that one. And I go, I know. I want to reach out to the sorry. He goes, well, dude, I don't know, because you can tell that it was a memorial for a good friend of yours, and so not only was it a piece that he did, who's one of the greatest in the world, but it's a memorial for somebody. And so I'm like, oh my God, I've been in New York for 4 weeks and I got East Coast beef now.
It's like Tupac and Biggie over here.
I took it seriously because I take the art seriously, and I take the rules of it seriously, and the street very seriously. I come from the street, from my band, and that we grew up in the '80s in fucking hellhole. So I really honor and respect that code, and I was devastated, and I knew that if I was going to continue on having any voice, that I had to reach out to the artist, which I discovered was RIME. Mm-hmm. And RIME agreed to meet with me, and we literally had what I felt was like that scene in The Godfather when Michael walks into the restaurant. You know what I mean? They have to sit down.
Yeah.
And like somebody, I'm going to get whacked. Like I'm like, this is it.
Try the veal. It's the best in the city.
Yeah.
You were nervous. You asked me to turn down my JBL Extreme.
Why? Well, I wanted to hear.
I can vouch for how nervous you were.
Yeah,
we had many conversations
tell
about
him.
it before. No, he called and he exactly what you just said. You felt bad. You knew that you made a mistake. You wanted to make it right. Just on the level of, dude, if I can never do this again, I got to make it right with this person.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, figure it out. You can do that.
That's the code we live by.
Yeah, you can go and let it be known where your motivation and it was an accident, and just go talk to the guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, and if you fucking get your head handed to you, well, that'll be a fun story too.
Then you deserve it.
All right. So I'll jump in here.
Well, let me just set it up from my perspective. Then I want you to take in, because then I walk into this room and it's RIME and Giz, another really well-known, respected East Coast.
Shout out to Giz.
An amazing human, by the way. Giz, if you're listening, we love you. But he was sitting there. So now I'm two of them, and I'm like, wow, what am I walking into? They do not look happy, and it's their territory, it's their house, it's his studio. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get it. Here we go. Man up. Here we go. So then you take it away.
We have what's called resting bro face.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the thing is it sounded like an absurd joke. You know what I mean? Like the last I knew of you is you were, you're doing that tattoo show.
Right.
And I know that you come from music, and I think you had a reality show with your ex-wife. Mm-hmm. Those are the three things I know. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of know your name. Yeah. And all that. And Giz calls me up and he's like, yo, bro, did you check your DM, your text messages? I was like, no. He's like, yo, check out this image. And he sent this nighttime picture of you with like a stencil over a Nace piece that I did.
Yes.
And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Why would he do that? And the thing is I'm not as threatened by like a celebrity that decides at 50 that he wants to do street art and jump into it. Of course. It's almost like it's not threatening. It's not personal. Yeah. Someone who comes from like a code of graffiti and paints over me, it's personal. They know exactly what they're doing. But I knew
better. That was the thing.
Yeah. So I mean, Dave was like, Giz and Dave Navarro, they both the name Dave. So I don't like to call people by their graffiti names. It's kind of played out. But anyway, I'll try. Giz called me up and he was like, yo, bro, this dude named Dave Navarro, he painted over you. He wants your phone number. He wants to call and apologize. I was like, fucking call and apologize. Now I got to go down there to Jersey City and get up on that roof that, is all boarded up and shit. And I got to figure out how to get up and get in there, right before I'm going to Paris, and deal with going and paint a piece up there. Yeah. Or go fix it or whatever. And it was just very inconvenient for me. Yeah. And I wasn't taking it personally, but it was laughable and also marginalizing. Like, who does he think he is to do that? Well,
that's the problem, is I didn't want that to be what you walked away with. Like,
you should have thought about that before you did what you did.
Well, it's fine.
It's human error, course, you know what I mean? But it was like,
it's an opportunistic fumble.
Well, I don't know if I would think of it as an opportunistic fumble. Where I had
to do it. And
yeah, exactly. I hear you.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah,
it sounds nice in my mouth.
It's a nice way of saying you're a fucking idiot.
But an opportunistic person is someone I don't want to hang out with.
Malicious person.
However, someone who takes advantage of an opportunity and doesn't let it pass by, I agree. That's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so he called me and I was like, I was like, nah, man, I don't want to give that dude my phone number. I said, if he really wants to apologize to me, he could come to my studio and he could apologize to my face. Otherwise, I really don't give a shit.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, but that's how I roll, baby.
Wait, why good for you?
I don't know, because it just seems like so simple to just make a phone call to apologize or whatever. But for someone to want to say, no, I'd like to meet this person face to face.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially coming from his end, like some celebrity wants to just call me to say he's sorry for some fuck up he did. Like, he can fucking come.
So I get you. Yeah, good for you.
I mean, if I could go through the Holland Tunnel and go fix the spot, you could come over from Jersey and come and apologize to me.
Fuck yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's all I wanted.
So yeah, so
that's
on
what
my
I wanted
end,
the whole time.
On my end, I would, I let you over to take the apology and maybe lecture you or give you my scolding about graffiti and the way it is or something like that or whatever. And sure enough, you came in, very collected and not. You were taking it seriously. You made me lower my radio. And
I wanted to hear what you were saying. I wanted to focus on the words.
You have foundational skills. That's good. But yeah, so we just started talking, and then I was talking about like having guns pulled out on me and all of this graffiti shit and how it is, and ultimately that what you painted over was very personal to me.
Of course.
That neighborhood there, I used to paint a lot in the late 90s with a painting partner that wrote Nace.
Yeah.
And Nace, he treated graffiti like it was a job, but he was an apprentice plumber.
Yeah, sure.
And, he was straight edge and unfortunately was killed by a drunk driver in 2001. And he's someone that I've painted a lot of pieces for him, and it's out of respect, for everything that I've learned, from Nace. So when I painted that roof, it was an area that we used to paint a lot, and I painted this thing. I ended up getting tennis elbow from painting that roof.
I mean, I've seen it.
It's very big.
I've seen it for 10 years going through that tunnel.
There's the wall, and then there's the billboard.
And I always was like right above that, where there's perfect land, real estate, and and I got up there, and there was a ladder on the roof. I'm like, come on, this is a sign, guys. Let's go.
Well, there you go. Well,
but maybe it was. Maybe it was as the story progresses.
Yeah, let me just roll it into where we are now.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I was telling you about where what that was, and it just wasn't any other name on a wall. It was very sentimental to me, and I'm usually the one to bring this stuff up, but you just came out and said it. You started talking about DMT.
Because I was looking at your paintings in the studio while we were having the talk, and I'm like, I know this guy has been somewhere that I've been.
Yeah.
How do I wedge this into the conversation?
Yeah, the paintings on my wall are just.
How do I paint over this conversation just like the piece?
No, I mean,
I'm just kidding. I
was sitting in this room and we were having a very serious, I would say, respectful talk. It wasn't heated. It wasn't. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel threatened after we started talking. And so I'm looking around the studio and I'm checking out this guy's work and I'm like, this guy's fucking, blowing my mind. And then I start looking at some of these things and they're like fractals and I'm like, you ever do any DMT?
Yeah, you started talking about DMT and stuff and I was like, oh, word. And from at that point I went, from this sort of like, 2015 fucking mindset of graffiti, which graffiti now, it's cool. I do it, but I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's just a part of what I do.
Yeah,
but the importance of caring about it in personal conversations is not that important. It's not that big to me.
Right.
But once you started talking about DMT, that's something that has been on my mind much more from having had profound experiences with it. And then later, having the chance to prepare and do ayahuasca in ceremony.
Yeah.
So once you opened up that topic, it changed the vibe in the room.
Definitely changed. You could feel it open up. And I think that also Giz and Tommy was there and they kind of sat up in their chairs.
Well, that dude Tommy was just nervous. He was thinking we were gonna beat you up and then shit.
That's what he told me.
Yeah,
but you know what? I respect the craft and the art that I would take the beating. You know what I mean? Like I fucked up. Whatever. That's what I came in expecting. But anyway, here we are talking about DMT. What I think is going to be a beating. now we're having a spiritual awakening.
Yeah,
talk.
I think we talked for maybe an hour and a half. We got really deep into all this stuff. It definitely changed, my initial view of you. And I think we smoked some weed too, and then we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
And what we ultimately agreed, he said, "What can I do to make this right?" And it's like, maybe give me paint, or maybe buy a painting for me or something like that, or come and do this job or something to show I'm sorry. And what I said to you is, I said, what you can do is you can know about this culture that you want to involve yourself in. If you want to go around and just paint your name and exist, or paint your little image or whatever icon in this environment, know who you're involving yourself with.
Yes.
And I thought about it, and what I said to you ultimately was that we should sit for a ceremony of some sort, or go through something guided, and then maybe we'll fucking hang out and do some graffiti or something like that.
Yeah.
So at first we were talking about maybe when I'm in LA, I would just guide you
Come
through.
by the house.
Yeah, come by your house and guide you through like a DMT, experience or whatever. That's something that I like to do.
Yeah.
I thought about that for a while, and we kept in touch, and I told you about some weird synchronistic things that have been going on in my life.
That's right.
I watched someone die jumping out of a window when I was breaking up with my girlfriend at the time. It was very weird. It was like when I was handing over the keys.
Wow, it's like her heart jumped out in that man.
Yeah, it was just a very profound experience, and then I was also trying to stay in this childhood home of the house that I just met my father from doing DMT. From doing DMT, I was sort of foreshadowed that something was going to happen to release or change something in my life, and then after 2 times of it saying in DMT that something was going to happen, I got an email from 23andMe telling me that there was a match to this paternal side of myself that I never knew about. I only had a nickname of this person, and I had did the test 5 years earlier, and found this thing out, and found out about this guy, and it helped me to release all this abandonment issues that I had, and it was all foreshadowed to me beforehand in a DMT experience, and it really changed the way I felt about these things. And then doing ayahuasca and all that kind of stuff and everything like that.
Quick interjection, is the DMT the one that only lasts for 15 minutes or something?
Yes.
It's very short.
Yeah, DMT is dimethyltryptamine. It's something that, it doesn't feel like getting high. It's quite the opposite. It's like if being high sort of takes you into a deficit, it brings you into just a heightened state or a plus state of yourself.
Our producer Frank here has some experience as well with DMT.
Yeah.
He loves it.
And it pretty much blasts you into to the entire consciousness of the universe, and the fact that your Jessica doesn't exist anymore.
That sounds awesome.
It's just total dissociation.
Well, you leave at a certain point, it induces you or kind of hypnotizes you. And once you stay sort of fixated on the patterns or what it's showing you in the moment, it's safely able to sort of pull you from your body. And the idea of you sitting in your living room is no longer there. The idea of your physical body is not there either. You still feel like yourself, but you wouldn't be able to place yourself figuratively. And you're going through these kind of experiences that are kind of hinting at what this life is. And it's like in full color and as sharp as like a 4K television, but you're in a space and you're interacting with other humans, but they're not in body, they're like energy.
Machine elves.
I don't know. It's just it's
That's
basically
what they call 'em.
it's infinite consciousness, and you're floating around in it. It's anything. It's like, there is no one, visual description of a DMT experience. Everyone has different ones. Some of them overlap, and there are parallels that you can have an experience and look it up online and see other people.
No, I've had ones that have been just the most expansive, mind-opening, angelic, healing, beautiful experiences, and I've had ones that have been terrifying, like absolutely terrifying. And those are, either demons or fears or something that I've had locked up in my body being released.
Is it something though, like when you're on LSD and you have like a bad trip and like you're freaked out, but you almost kind of know that it's going to end? Like if you're having something with DMT, are you aware that like
I've
it's
never done
short...
what RIME does, but what I do is there's the 5-MeO toad, and you're so hijacked that you can't have the conscious ability to know that anything is ending.
Right.
You're not there.
There's no reason or anything, right? There's no nothing.
You wouldn't be able to say this is going to end to yourself. You wouldn't be able to have that vocabulary.
Gotcha.
Well, with DMT, it's less physical. So with the what he's talking about with the toad.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, baby. Dave's eating some mushroom chocolates.
I may have started a little earlier in the broadcast.
My man, me too.
Just let you know. We took it at the same time, so we'd be on the same wavelength when we got into the interview.
Sometimes you got to put the car in cruise control, bro.
I feel like we're cruising.
Yeah. So anyway, DMT is less physical. It's more of an energetic experience. You don't have any side effects like nausea or anything like that because your body is not sort of playing a role in it.
What already exists in your body too, so it assimilates very quickly. And believe it or not, you can go to the far reaches of the universe and literally drive a car half an hour later.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that DMT is what floods your body when you die, right? So you're not afraid of death. It gives you peace
when you're born
at the
as
end.
well.
Right.
Born, die, and trauma.
Yeah.
And it's connected to when you dream at night and whatever else the internet has told me.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
That's where Frank gets all his info.
Yeah. The internet.
YouTube's.
The catalog of our mind.
I want to do it someday.
I'm
in.
But so can you turn this into what we ended up doing this week? Because this is fucking.
I could talk.
Oh, I know, bro, but I don't want to run out of time.
All right, if I steer off the rails, take me back.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just.
All right, you got me. You're doing GPS for me.
What I'm doing is supporting.
All right, you GPS me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive.
I'm being supporting and encouraging.
In 30 feet, get back on point.
All right.
All right. That's
all right. Here we
doing.
go. I got it on cruise control, and I'm gonna tell the story and drive at the same time.
All right. Here we go.
All right. So anyway, I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do DMT with this dude. And I'm gonna hang out with him or whatever, and we'll see where it goes from there. During all of this, I was preparing for an ayahuasca ceremony. I had just come back from being overseas for 3 months. I set up a solo show in Paris and came back and was immediately jumping into preparing to do something else. I was getting ready to go to Mexico, and I was going to do a week-long retreat in Mexico with 3 ayahuasca ceremonies, a sweat lodge, a tobacco purge, which is basically just throwing your brains out and getting everything energetic and physical out of you in a non-psychoactive way. We did like a plant bath, and I was with my dude Dax.
Yep.
Motherfucker Dax, that's my road dog.
What up, D?
On this fucking psychedelic.
Dr. D.
We're on a psychedelic adventure. Fucking going to Mexico and France and all these places. Fucking with my man Swinsky. Anyway, we went down to Mexico to do all of this psychedelic stuff, and I was preparing for it. You met me while I was preparing for it. I was trying to get my life back on track, and then I was also in my new father's, childhood home, and I had felt an energy in that space that I understood to be this grandmother I've never met, and I was too spooked there. I had the keys for a month and a half, and I never slept there because I could feel her energy was just fucking scaring the shit out of me. And I had never interacted with someone I knew before. I come from a family of psychics and stuff like that, and I have some abilities to interact with non-physical entities or spirits or whatever you want, fucking ghosts at night. But it was never anybody I know until I was there in that house. And I knew that I had to go down to Mexico, and I was supposed to bring this picture of her down to Mexico to do ayahuasca, and I ended up talking to her and writing down all this information, for her children, my aunts and uncles and brothers. I had to slap my brother on the beach and tell him that his name is Vincent and all this other stuff. And while I was in there, I think on night 3, you came up And what, the spirit of the vine is, the spirit of ayahuasca is a grandmother energy. And sometimes she comes forward and she will sort of guide you on your life. And she brought him up among all this other stuff. And she told me to tell you that you didn't just trip in a puddle and fall into this problem with me, that ultimately we're going to have to sit down, but we're not going to sit down by doing DMT. We're going to sit down by me, trying to make it possible for my shaman to come up for 3 days to LA, and we're going to do a ceremony in your living room. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to invite all my Goonie graffiti motherfucker friends over to do that shit for the first time too.
It was the best.
And I crafted the whole thing. I got my shaman, Juan Carlos, and his wife, Fia, to fly up from, they were in Mexico City at the time. And got together some of my closest friends based here in LA, and it was their first time doing ayahuasca. For me and my buddy Dax, it was, I don't know, the 8th or 9th time for us doing this. And we moved his dining room set over and turned that shit into a fucking...
It was a fucking yam. What is it? A yarn or what is it?
It was a jamboree of
those tents that you sleep in.
A yurt.
A yurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you,
sorry, you guys are looking a little hazy right now.
Yeah, just so you understand, like ayahuasca is not just about sipping a cup of something gross and having like a tripped out experience. There's much more to it. It's a whole spiritual ceremony that's guided by a shaman, and the music is just as important. The songs, the prayers, whatever it is that he plays, it's like he's an energetic conductor, and he's pulling us all. He's sort of emotionally sewing us through an experience.
And you brought some of that music with you.
Oh, absolutely. If I could have figured out how to.
Well, we're going to get to that in a second, but what I do want to say, while we're on the subject, because this all sounds really fascinating and wonderful, and it really, truly is. But what I like to make sure is very, very clear is that the group of people that we were with, the shaman, and the energy in the space was safe. We all felt safe. We all trusted each other because we were going to go through life-changing events together, right? And we were going to ride this thing out, do or die. And that, in addition with the following day when we had kind of a group processing about what came up for us the night before, as to have some kind of closure to the ceremony, those are elements that are really, really important, I think, and vital in terms of making these things work and taking them from a night experimenting with psychedelics into tools that are useful for the rest of your life. The other thing is that this is not a cure-all. Don't expect to take some kind of psychedelic and wake up feeling cured. This is a door opening to a lot of work for the rest of your fucking life, and it's work that you didn't expect to be doing, but all of a sudden you're doing it, and you got to commit. And the last thing I'll say is that when it comes to any of these psychedelics, you have to look into any conflict with current medication that you're taking. If you're taking SSRIs of any kind, stay away from it. It's not for you. Until you're off their medication, and certainly still be guided. Don't answer some ad in the paper. Don't get to some cheap place in Costa Rica where they're like, oh, look at this, all paid for $900. Like, man, you want the experience to enrich your life and your pack and the lives of the people you touch, and you have to do that safely so you can be safe with the information you receive, because I've heard a lot of stories of things going wrong, and I just want to put that out there just to be responsible about this.
Basically, what you're saying is if anyone wants to do this, to go to your home.
Well, that's the way. I just want to avoid well, Dave says it's okay.
As long as they take their shoes, as long as they take their shoes off.
Goddamn right.
If you find yourself in Los Angeles,
at any point when the music was playing, did you request Jane Says?
You know what? Do you know what? Why there's a rule at my house: no shoes. Mm-hmm. Because I lived in a place at one point in my life where you had to have shoes on to be in it.
Because there was so much fucking needles on the floor.
There was so much
everywhere.
shit everywhere, and like bottles and needles and fucking God knows what on the floor. So you'd wear we would get the cheapest army boots we could find at Army Surplus, and like just kind of, hey, we're going home.
House boots.
We're going home. Let me get my boots. But anyway, so the ceremony was beautiful. Did you get that thing lined up there?
Yes, sir. He has it emailed.
Okay, killer.
Todd,
Yeah, the ceremony went well. It's therapy, for many of us, and it's a download of love. And Dave sat through it, man. We all had like a childhood sleepover. We all just crashed out on the floor. This guy cuddled up with his guitar next to him, and
saw that.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but the design on the guitar is the design that I put on the sign that bumped.
He noticed
the original view. Yeah, I noticed that. But you know what? In a weird way, like I'm grateful. That's what it allows you to experience and understand, is to have the gratitude for you. Life is going to throw you challenges and mistakes, right? And then you get a choice. How you react? You react out of love, or you react out of fear. And with RIME, I reacted out of love because I respect what he does. I respect the craft. I respect the boundaries around that craft. I know its history. I may not have been involved in it, but I'm a massive art collector, have been for 30 years. I know the history of all of what these guys do. So it really meant a lot to me. And so I chose to go with love. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Instead of running away. And because I made that fuck up, which most people would run away from, now it's opened up my life into what we have here, which is RIME and frankly, a dozen brand new people that I have shared a really incredible experience with and am connected to for the rest of my life.
And did you have fun?
I had the greatest time. I had so much fun because a part of me is my OCD with my home. Mm-hmm. And so letting go of that, just trusting that it's going to go okay, and meeting all the guys and seeing how down to earth and willing to be vulnerable and heal these guys were. Mm-hmm. Because you have to understand the following day, we're looking at like 8, 9, like heavily tattooed, fucking ex-junkie rock, aging rock guy, fucking tattooed graffiti artists from East Coast, hard as they come, fucking Atlanta, street people, and we're fucking all sitting around the fire and we're just talking about how we feel and sharing vulnerabilities and sharing where we identify with each other about really deep personal shit that you would never imagine that group of people talking about those things.
Yeah, there's nothing more thugged out than taking responsibility for who you are.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I did when I came to see you. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I own this.
I have a quick question for RIME. You said you've done the ayahuasca 8 or 9 times?
Yeah, this was just my ninth time at this dude's house.
Do you have a different experience each time? Like, what makes you do it that many times?
For me, I grew up, with carrying over some of my issues from childhood that developed into the idea of myself, my personality, and riding that personality with 20, 30, going into 40 years. I just felt like some things didn't really fit anymore, and I needed to sort of go inside of myself and address some of those foundational issues. And one night of ayahuasca is like years of therapy. And I've never went to a therapist. I would enjoy it, but I just haven't made it there.
Is there?
I think there's no more in there, bro. I think you ate them all.
Wait a minute. You know
there's
what?
more in my car. We'll go
bro, you know what you're turning into right now?
Who
your actual blotter paper.
Yeah.
Your fucking blotter paper.
I make artwork on sheets of acid.
I'm feeling this is kicking in now. Good.
Oh, I've noticed for about 15 minutes.
Welcome to the next 8 hours of your life, pal.
I feel like every time I take mushrooms, they work for me like every other time, but I never have the like hallucinating, like going somewhere and people are always like, you got to eat it.
Close your eyes. Yes. Close your eyes and get away from everybody. Yeah. That's the thing is sometimes people will do psychedelics in a social context. That's one way to do it, but really sometimes there's so much noise around you can't hear what it's really trying to say.
Let me tell you guys something that I've just realized that you probably don't know.
Can't wait.
Do you know why RIME is so intuitively knowledgeable about all this stuff? Because it's not that he just had some experiences and now knows all this stuff. It's intuitive. He said it's families, generations of having-
Psychics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what really focuses vision? Focuses his vision?
Tell me, bro.
He has 6 eyes. You see what I'm saying? So he can see stuff in dimensions that you can't see. You're looking through 2, bro.
I'm such a fucking loser.
Well, in Iowa,
You don't have to feel bad. You can access the other remaining 4. You can learn to
I
access
got
those.
20/20, man. I'm good, man. Shit.
does the penis hole count as an eye?
If so, Dave
Can.
loves sucking.
And by the way, what I loved,
Shout out to Giz.
my favorite part is RIME taught me like what is called a throw up. It's like it's your tag. It's not your tag. It's you're writing in bubble letters. It's just throw up, and then you can fill it in. And there's multiple.
Yeah, the other
words.
day I taught him how to do graffiti,
It was awesome. And then
we were getting Reiki master sessions in between graffiti lessons.
Yeah, it was crazy night.
And that dude Andre 3000 showed up and played the piano.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I heard the story already.
I was like, this is fucking great. And then I have this door where I put everybody's stickers and little art things, and I wanted Andre to contribute there. And he's like, yeah, and he said he's so humble and he's so sweet.
He was
And you
wearing
know what I mean?
Oshkosh Bajosh overalls.
Just a regular dude. And he's just
Such a good story.
we were just hanging out. And then he goes, yo, man, where do you want that? I'm like, anywhere, man. And he goes, Andre 3000, like, takes the rest of the bottom of the door. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. That guy's bold. That's what I want. It's fucking real.
He's written before. He's gone.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
gone painting with Dax.
I know.
On tour.
Yeah,
They would go painting.
I was stoked about it.
Todd had a song. You want to hear that song you guys were talking about? Aren't you playing something?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
man.
yeah. This, yeah.
Okay, so let me set this up. This is
Okay, this is at my house?
No, that we didn't put that together yet. But this is night 1 of 3 in Mexico that I was down doing ayahuasca ceremony.
Let's
Night
listen.
1 from Planchette.
Oh my God, we should listen to this for a few minutes, right? We have some time, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette and I'm gonna experience nature.
Yo, why don't we walk to the car? I'll get you the rest of those chocolates.
Yeah, I'm gonna go experience
He
nature.
definitely needs more. That's for sure.
No, I got it. I
It's
know what
good
to do.
because this track
He's
is
connecting
2
me.
hours and 42 minutes
well,
long.
And we'll be back
never
next
come
week.
back.
All right,
So
we'll be right back.
night one in ayahuasca ceremony, Mexico.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah, I remember that exact melody when I was coming out of the ceremony.
Juan Carlos.
That guy, because that's the music that tethers you to the plane of existence that we're on now. So when you get too far out in your journey, you can listen for the sounds of the shaman. He'll bring you back. And you'll find comfort and safety and go, oh yeah. And then you'll let go again.
Hold on. I got a text from my cousin, who's the cop.
Yeah.
My cousin Dave.
Yeah.
He goes, so I tuned in Dark Matter for the first time in a while. No idea what I'm listening to.
Well, that
you
was
just-
was
Dave.
more than music. That was a technology.
Those were
Dave,
dear friends of ours.
Bro, you're on this journey with us. Like,
No,
Dave,
those
you're-
were dear friends of ours that
I'm aware, I know.
actually performing this music.
But
with no,
think about the humor of someone tuning in to hear us talk about dicks and balls.
Yeah.
And they hear that.
well, we don't talk about them when
Sometimes
we have.
you gotta put your pee away, bro, and listen.
I will never put my PB away, sir.
No, he won't. But even when Dr. Drew's in here, we talk about dicks and balls. He's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So speaking of dicks and balls,
forget where you came
I went
from,
to
Navarro.
hey, check this out. Wait a minute.
Here's
wait a
my
minute.
dick and balls.
Where's my fucking bag? Will you grab it, please? It's on that desk. Yeah, that's out there. Oh, sorry. I can't walk away. I host this show.
You walked out of interviews before, dude.
No.
Well,
Of
why
me.
don't you eat more? So this strain is called Penis Envy Texas.
Oh, I should take a lot of this then, right?
Oh God.
No. Come here.
I really envy.
We have work to do still.
Everything's bigger in Texas. You know what I mean?
Here.
Actually, you know what? I'll tell you guys the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Hey,
I got a nice little curve.
yo, Dave.
Gets right to the spot. You know what I mean?
Todd, give me the plug, will you?
Ate 2 more of these?
Yeah, eat 2 more. I'll eat 2 more too.
Oh my God, we're gonna go fucking moon.
Go to the moon
No, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you're out in the ocean and like an undertow kind of pulls you out. You just gotta go along for the ride, bro.
until you drown.
You got to body,
but-
you got to body
I'm
surf
kidding.
it.
But the problem here,
current will take you back.
Ryan, the problem here is this is my job. It's going down we're losing listeners now.
Well, let's see what the fan. Let's see what our
go to the
listeners.
phones.
Yeah, let's see what our
Let's go to
listeners
the
have to
phones.
say
Do we
about
have-
it. 323-230. No, not
Dave,
yet.
sit down, buddy.
But let me give the number out. Calm down, relax. You're one with the microphone.
You're safe with us. Sit down.
I'm seeing lights. That's all I'm seeing.
That's
You tell
called
me
a-
those aren't lit up.
Not quite calls. Yeah.
Yo, you
Let's call it control board.
Let me give out the number.
Can I get water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
323-230-4445. That's 323-230-4445 if you want to call in.
Later, dudes.
Yeah, now they're gone. So if you want to talk to any of us right now,
Let's just make this a rare form show. Starting right now.
we should just rerun this tomorrow.
Well, no, this is a good experience to have. This is a good experience to have for
you.
me, because I do a lot of work in the psychedelic studies area, right? And I know from personal experience and trying a lot of different things that this can be done safely and this can be done really dangerously wrong. And if it's done really dangerously wrong, it can have traumatic side effects that last forever.
I love when you talk soft.
Yeah, that's
Talking
good.
soft.
Looks like we got a call here. I know you. Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Dave, what exactly are you on?
Who is this? What? Who is this?
The guy who got a vasectomy earlier today.
But now you're
not
hearing me. You're double. Now you're second guessing your choice.
What he's saying is you are a different man now than you were
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show.
Right, and what he's saying is that had he met this guy, he wouldn't have even had this vasectomy to begin with.
Dude.
Dude, you took God's gift
I'm
of
just curious. I'm not judging. I'm just
spreading seed of love to this earth. That was what you were put here to do, and provide love for others to learn and grow from. And you selfishly decided to take that away from the world.
Selfishly.
Nah, you retired.
Like who knows?
By the
This
way,
could have been the
Dave,
next
never answered
Stephen
my
Hawking could have been born. But wow, no, I've got too many kids. I can't afford it. Oh, it's a
Well,
lot of work.
I've done it too. So
It's
is
a
that
lot
the way
of work.
you feel about me?
No, I'm just fucking around.
I know.
I'm going down rabbit holes. No, dude, we are. I am here with American artist RIME, who I am honored to call a friend of mine, and we are on psychedelic mushrooms.
I am from America.
Well, it's American artist.
Yeah, why not?
Jackson Pollock is American artist.
Yeah, I'm an
You
American
know what I mean?
artist.
But you
Yeah,
don't
but why
see-
can't he just be an artist and not an American artist?
Yeah, I don't see.
about it.
I
don't see
was
color.
trying no shoes on. I said, call me an American artist.
We have another call,
but-
Frank?
but-
Oh, never mind.
But check this out.
And in June, I'm gonna be living in France.
Right, but check it out. That's fucking some heavy shit right there. Jackson, American artist, great American artist, like Jackson Pollock.
Heartbeat of America, brother.
That's right. And then you got another one, RIME.
We have a question for RIME.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi guys. I think my question for your guest tonight, it will be like if graffiti has the same meaning for him in these days than 15 years ago when he started. And also, why does he think graffiti is worth it? I mean, I know it's worth it. Personally, I love it. But it will be nice to hear the point of view of someone who has been doing it for years. Thank you.
Well, graffiti came into my life at 12, and at that moment, I was taken away from living with my family, and there were some issues going on in my home, and I was looking for something. So I, had to fill a void, and I found graffiti. I started writing graffiti there in an effort to sort of figure out who I am, and I think that a lot of us as teens, we're trying to sort of fall into some shoes that are, different from being a kid or being a shadow of our parents.
I think that what you're talking about is what I identify with the early beginnings of Jane's addiction when we were teenagers on the street, begging to play places, making flyers and hand them out to people, cutting pictures out. Back then we had to go to a Xerox place and cut out, get 100 made, and hopefully people will come to your show. And living on the streets, really hard life. And And also there was a lot of fear of, getting fucked with, because it wasn't, the later it got and the more dangerous it became. And then also we were part of that drug culture, which is we didn't want to get arrested and we didn't be in the wrong part of town and blah, blah, blah. But it was all worth it for our art and our craft and the thing that we believed in most, And so when you talk about this 50-year-old guy who's now all of a sudden throwing pictures up all over the place, it's taking me back to that excitement of being just like an anonymous face. Like, everybody knows that it's me, whatever. I'm not trying to like hide some brand, but it's like to just take my own self identity out of the process and just have another name that is not Dave Navarro associated, that I can escape from, for 5 minutes. That's what I miss. And that's where and having been such a prolific collector for all these years, and everything from, Picasso to Richard Hamilton, Warhol, Basquiat, you name it. And some of the great pioneers of street art. And for me, Robbie Canal was that guy who, when I was a kid, I was like, whoa, here's a guy who's saying a voice of dissent, and he's putting it out on the street. How can he get away with that? And then my mom tells me, well, he's just putting that up. It's not legal. I was like, wow, people can do that, just put their voices up. And that was really profoundly got me interested in politics, because I wanted to know what he meant by that. And then profoundly got me into the street expression.
To clarify, Robbie Canal is an artist who used to do Reagan.
That's right.
He used to draw images of Reagan that were pretty
Yeah, and he would really take on pretty intense issues. And just a hero of mine.
I think we have a call. Hello, you're on Dark Matter. Who's this?
Hey, Dave. Dark Matter. How's it going?
It's going good. Who's this?
This is David as well. I was that guy who moved up to Washington to work on a farm from LA.
Oh, yeah. How's it going?
Good. I hope you're enjoying your mushroom trip. I have a question for you about songwriting.
Yeah.
So when you write a new song and you're riffing on things, how do you solidify this is the way I want to play it and structure that within a song?
God, it's really interesting you asked me that question, because just the other day I got an art lesson from RIME, and he was talking about just letting go and following the movement and the stroke, and not forcing it to happen, but just allowing it to happen because it's already in you. And I think that's what music is.
Yeah,
if you're like, okay, today I'm going to write a song that's about this, and today I'm going to, you know what I mean? It's just let it. What I always do, and why it's so taxing for me, and why I'm pulling back from the music industry, is because we're burying our souls, and we're up against a family of dynamics that have shifting dysfunctions, and we're putting it out in the world, and it doesn't work anymore, and it gets judged, and it's heartbreaking. And so what I'm saying to you is that if you're putting everything you love into your music, your songs will write themselves, and you'll be fulfilled regardless. If you have some kind of perception of what you want to be, you can have that goal, but let go of that being the reason. The reason is because it's in you. The reason is because you have to.
You're saying you can't have expectations of how it's going to come out, basically, or what
I'm
you're
saying
gonna
that's
get
what
from
my
it.
experience is, that I let it flow, and then then a subject and the melody and the structure comes along afterwards. But I start with just I feel this way, and I'm playing.
Well, I think you should know yourself. If you don't know who the hell you are, how are you gonna express that? And if you have nothing to go on, you should just be traveling.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck out of where you're at. If you're not inspired, get the fuck out.
We have another question for you. This kind of goes off what you just said, if you want to hear that.
Yeah.
Cool.
What up, motherfuckers? It's Neil from Scotland. Question for Dave. Looking at a lot of his social media activity, he obviously spends a lot of time in the art world now. Do you feel more comfortable in the art world than the music world now? And do you see yourself drifting more towards that as time goes on, or do you think at some stage you'll move back into releasing albums and studio time and serious touring again? Loving the work, guys. Cheers.
That's a really intense question.
Not
You know
usually.
what I mean?
Did you get past the Irish accent?
Well,
Scottish accent?
no, okay, but
Scottish.
that you're asking the question that has been the question that I've been asking myself for a long time. Do I still want to be a visible figure in entertainment?
The answer can change, but what is it right now? What like at this moment?
Right now, I'm grateful for everything I've had and everything that I've led to what I've got and the people I know, but I'm just not. It's just in this society right now. It's just like, if they can't see me, they can't shoot. You know what I mean? I don't like the environment right now. I want to change it. I want to change the messaging out there because we all got it wrong. It's not about anger. It's about what's anger is fear. You know what I mean? So they're afraid of it's either fear and division or love and acceptance. And I'm going with love and acceptance. And as I said this, the room turned baby blue, which is, as you know, I would even go for maybe seafoam green.
Fear is a really big one, man.
Oh yeah, because
I think we spend our lives trying to figure out ways to shed fear. Fear is rooted in everything that we do.
But I don't think it's always bad, though. I think
No,
fear
it's
can be
not.
good.
It's a good instinct to have.
Anger
but
can be good sometimes.
if fear is a great instinct to have, it keeps you from putting your hand back on the stove. It teaches you that things are dangerous, and it keeps you, safe. And that's what we have it there fundamentally for, as bipedal creatures on this earth. But when you throw in human emotion and social structures like we have now, which are all man-made, there's nothing natural about it, right? We're not really meant to fucking interact with that and have our heads held down, looking at a phone all day. We're supposed to interact with each other. And so if we can see the human child within each person and treat each person with that heart, that's the answer, man. Then, it's like, let's, and I still want to bring my November 8th day back.
No hate.
With Moby. The No Hate Day, which is
I heard that episode.
yeah, like just fucking, let's just try it. Just see what would your life be like if you just didn't spend a lot of energy hating Jewish people today.
What do you mean?
Slow down a little bit.
Not you. I'm just saying, like, if there is an anti-Semite, for instance,
Right.
whatever your thing is, right? Whatever, if it's racism, if it's religious, differences, whatever, tolerance in general. So why don't you just suspend being intolerant for a day, and just feel what that does to your life.
Right.
Do you have more time? Do you have less to do? Do you feel lighter? Because you have a choice of what you felt yesterday, or you have a choice of what you felt today, but they're still going to be doing their thing.
I was going to say, the hate and the anger is only affecting you.
Right. So
Toxic
you
you.
have to, it's an inside job. It's not about division and pointing fingers.
Yeah.
It's inside.
We have a couple more
Dave
phone
Navarro
calls.
out. Mic drop.
Let's go to the phones.
I love that this is like, and I'm going to go into how ahead of their time the Beatles were after this.
I think you should listen back to the show tomorrow.
I'm not, I never will. It's not
You
going
are
up.
on Dark Matter. Who's this? Next call, Frank. Hey, you're on Dark Matter. Who's this?
This is Dr. Dax.
Yeah!
Dr. D!
What up, motherfucker?
Calling from the ATL!
Shit. Out here in Atlanta, Georgia, fucking getting my shit together.
Dude, well, you guys, while you're doing that, you're being broadcast to the world, in fact.
On the wide web.
One of the miracles of technology
like
that actually is worthwhile.
Yes, indeed. I feel like I'm broadcasting to the world every day now.
Hey, what you got to say about doing ceremony in Dave's house, doing ayahuasca in Dave's house? What did you learn?
Man, I learned a lot. Hanging with Dave, I actually had some sort of insight into kind of what I feel like my future within myself could be like. I've seen a lot of overlap between some of his behavior and
Oh,
the
that's
way
nice,
I behave
Dax.
as well.
That's really nice, man.
But overall, I was just talking about how, besides how profoundly beautiful these experiences are, and how rare it is to even be able to do something like this, no matter who you are, the places we've been doing these ceremonies in, whether it be a tea house in France on the River Send or in the jungles of Sac Bay, Mexico, on sacred land with these UFO ship houses and temples, and then next Dave Navarro's house.
We've had some fun, man.
Huh?
We've had some fun in these places doing these things.
These places are sacred, and I feel like they become more sacred. And it was ever so apparent when Dave repeated quite a few times that we had cleared the air in there and we had lightened up everything. And
100%.
I had already felt all that without him saying anything. But the fact that he lives there and that's his house, and he also said it and noticed it, it was 100,000% real.
Yeah.
And we're out here shifting and rearranging energy with even in spaces. And that's why when you called and said that I'm being broadcasted to the world and the universe, I truly feel like the frequency I'm rolling on, that I'm constantly broadcasting anyway. The fact that, Andre 3000 had just called and was in Venice at the same time. And there's so many of these things you can call coincidences or whatever, but they're just energies like connecting almost like magnets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening, and it's ever so apparent. And it might seem really unreal to most, but it's my reality.
Yeah, Dax, my only thing is that I just want to make sure we're not, there's an element to this of safety and precaution that I just want to make sure, like a kid listening isn't going to go on the internet and just download some fucking, oh, this looks good, this is what they're talking about, this is going to fix me forever. Like, this is the beginning, a welcoming to a journey for the rest of your life.
Definitely.
Well,
the journey is not even half over. I've definitely just got started, and I've been stripped down and broken down within this journey as well. But after going to Mexico, I was able to get on a high frequency again. But the high frequency is very hard to stay on, and it's very hard to maintain your stance within it. And sometimes when you're in it, you're so comfortable, you feel like you can't be knocked off of it. But something as simple as coming back to Atlanta and sitting in traffic with somebody road raging can take me right down into a low frequency. So I have to protect my frequency and my spot on it. And that's something I haven't even come close to figuring out or mastering. But
I feel like
journey.
that's something that you should listen to in particular, Dan.
I'm sorry, what? You say it again, Dax?
I was talking about
Dax, you
maintaining a spot on a high frequency. You get into a good place.
He's going to replay.
I'm
What I'm
not
saying.
talking about winning off a scratch-off ticket. I'm talking about a higher frequency where you're literally floating and you're so comfortable in your skin. Like I've found a comfort in my skin being on this frequency, and also how people react to me. But how easily I come home, I can come out the jungle and even hang out in Tulum or go to New York for a little while with Joe, and I get back to Atlanta, I get back to my normal life, and I get into something as simple as just like, oh, I'm going to go drive around and go see everybody, and next thing you know, someone's freaking out and screaming at me in traffic, and I instantly go back to the muscle memory of like wanting to reach in my coin jar and throw all my pennies at her. Or something,
I always want to do that.
And then I notice that even afterwards, I don't do it. I'll roll my window up, but then I'm now once again dealing with choking up my pride, which I thought I had shed. But
I'm comfortable at that frequency.
But by the way,
you just have to learn to love it.
D, by the way, you should know that Joe and I did the synchronized watch mushroom drop prior to the show.
Oh yeah, I get me and Dave ate the mushroom chocolates.
Yeah, so are these from you? Is these from Dax?
No, these are from me.
No.
Oh,
made with love.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, but you know what? What Dax is talking about? What
he
Dax
knows
is
Willy Wonka, man.
That's right, baby. What Dax is talking about is the ultimate lesson of it. It's not so much about like having like a trippy visual experience or something. It's about sort of confronting and letting go of some stuff that no longer serves you and figuring out a new way of being. To not when you move something heavy out of you, you have to learn to develop positive ways to fill that void.
And I think just being also aware of the fact that stuff comes up for him, and he's instantly aware that it's happening, that he's changing anyways.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So Dax is, that's why you work on yourself. It's about what you do after you do these things. Dax and I are currently we've been so far. We've done ceremonies, like he said, in outside of Paris, down in Central America, in Mexico. I guess it's technically North America. We've been down in Mexico, then over here at Dave's. We're gonna be going back to New York, doing it again, and then going down to Peru. You should come down to Peru with us, bro.
I have to work.
You're fucking rich, man. Just fucking get your shit together and go.
You can work from Peru.
Not Ink Master. I can't.
Well, do it when you're not.
Guys,
when you're not busy.
today,
Our next challenge is in Peru.
Today, we're gonna go with some old school Peruvian style.
You have 5 hours or until these mushrooms wear off.
Yeah.
Once Paramount hears this show, there will be next season. Dave, you have plenty of free time coming up. Don't worry about it.
Just give them. You know what you do? You give them a machete, and then you send them off into the jungle, and then they got to go get some bamboo and make a hand poking instrument. And whoever makes the dopest tattoo in that time.
That's right. That's a brilliant idea.
And then while they're doing that, we're doing ceremony.
I'm in.
We have a question. Another question.
Where's the most interesting place you guys have ever done graffiti?
Sometimes the most interesting place is not really the most known place. I really enjoyed painting some graffiti when I was down in the catacombs in Paris. Just walking down there and seeing like some of the placards that'll say like 1748, and then you'll see another placard that'll say 1862 or something like that, and that
you'll see another placard that says "Suck my dick."
Yeah,
Rhyme.
You'll see. Shout out to Gibbs.
Down out in the catacomb.
No, but being
in the medieval times, this is where these guys used to suck each other off.
Oh my god,
sacred place.
Sometimes the dopest places to do graffiti, you don't even want to do graffiti there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I guess what was the question?
The dopest place he ever wrote graffiti was on top of my shit.
That's right. Goddamn
and it
right.
led to us doing ayahuasca in your living room, bro.
Thank you everyone for listening to our last show ever.
Is it really that bad?
No.
I think
it's insane.
Riveting.
It's gone to an insane place, but it's hilarious.
Did I wish?
It's good. Good conversation.
I wish you could be. I wish you
could be a mockingbird.
I wish you could have been in part of the show that I just had.
I live the way that you feel. I'm always feeling great. You know that.
I know.
I was born this way.
What a fucking weirdo.
Well, I gotta say, Dan doesn't suffer from trauma.
Weirdo.
I have trauma, but I just mow right past it.
No, but let's uncover some of that right now.
I don't need to. I'm good.
I know about some stuff. You want to get into it? Want to get into it?
If you need to.
I don't need to. I'm here. I'm offering you an opportunity.
No, I appreciate it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm solid.
I'm not.
You are a solid dude.
Yeah, thank you. Todd needs some help.
Todd is a solid dude, man. He's the best father to any 2 kids I've ever seen in my life. Does everything for them. Consistency is what's going to make those kids.
Lola's fucking texting me right now, and I'm like, why are you still up?
Well, let me FaceTime her on
No. She's got to go to sleep.
I don't care. I'm on shrooms. Let's FaceTime your daughter.
Yeah, not going to happen.
You know what? I'll say this, Dave. Since it's a moment, I'll say that you're a real stand-up guy, man. That like you came in humbly to my studio and you took it seriously and apologized like a man. And what I said to him is, I said, a lot of people throw "I'm sorry" around, and for each individual person, it carries a different currency, And the analogy I gave is, I was down in Jamaica. And this Rastafari dude came up to me while I was eating, and he wanted me to buy like a stick of his weed. And I was like, all right, man, what do you want for it? He's like, oh, give me $200 for it. I'm like, okay, you want $200 for this? He's like, yeah, 200 Jamaican. And I said, all right, cool. You know what? You're a good guy. Here. I gave him 200 Jamaican. And it was just this more weed than I could ever use. And then I looked up on my phone what 200 Jamaican is. And it came out to $1.52.
Jesus.
It's
American.
a pretty good deal.
That it's a good deal. But the thing is 200 Jamaican is worth this, and 200 US is worth that. And with Dave, I told him ultimately that his sorry should be backed by something. And if he did want to show remorse.
No, what I said, what can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it up?
And what I'm saying is we did that. You had me and a bunch of my friends in your living room healing ourselves and getting to know ourselves, and in the process getting to know you.
Yeah.
You know, you left your door unlocked. We all took our shoes off, and you know, we treated it like it was our own home, and we had a good time. And you know, I have a lot of respect for you, bro.
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. I'm really glad that you came into my life.
Yeah.
This is we got a phone call?
Yes, we do.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Hey, you're on Dark Matter. Who's this?
Dallas Bolin from Eatonville, Washington.
Okay.
Hi, Dallas.
What can we do for you?
Hey. I don't know. I just got off work, so I hadn't been able to tune in. I don't know what you guys are talking about tonight. Actually, my first time calling, but I've been listening to you guys for a while.
Let me give you a hand. We can handle any question that you have.
Unless
right
it's
now.
for Dave.
All right. Do you actually listen to Burzum, or are you just joking around with that?
No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking around about it. I actually have a deep. You want to bring up the Norwegian black death metal thing now? I actually have a deep respect and passion, as fucked up as this sounds, and I know I'm not backing any actions that were taken by any of these.
No, I'm the same way. I
you
love
know what
the
I mean?
music, but
here's what I'm saying is I can identify with being that dedicated to my craft and my culture, and having my own little tribe that is that dedicated to it as well. And that's what that's how Jane's Addiction started, and we started it as a little movement that was our own, and it grew out of Hollywood. And you know, so to watch that scene in another time, you know, in another era, transform is really kind of magical and interesting to me. And I actually did a painting of Dead, who is, you know, Pell.
Yeah.
From Morbid and Mayhem, and I just recently did that, and you know, so it's coming from more from just like an appreciation for the dedication to something creative, and that they're getting something out of, and so I'll rock Burzum all day long, man.
Yeah, it was a product of that time that people think that. I keep hearing this thing like make black metal dangerous again. It's like, okay, that time is over. Like I love like the guy's politics are fucked, but I love Burzum's music and other certain bands of that genre. But it's like that was another time that can't be recreated, and people for some reason think that they can keep that thing going. It's like, well, we can keep appreciating it, but no, it's done as far as that first wave goes.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. All right, brother. Thanks for the call.
All right, bye.
Take it easy. All right. We wrapping it up?
That's it. Yeah, we're out of time.
We're out of time. That guy flew by so fast. You guys want to spend some time on the porch and just hang out for a few minutes?
I have to go to work.
What?
Nah, yo, I'm down to hang out, bro.
Yeah, we're hanging.
Let's eat the rest of the thing and let's go do
Construction
something.
tonight.
We're going to do that. What?
I'm back into the construction tonight.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm going from here to work.
You just got off tour with Ministry, and now you're gonna go build houses.
It's a little bit about. It's called being a fucking man. Look it up, dude.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm going to work. I would love to hang and experience the ground and
but
the
I'll
earth
bet
with
you there's
but,
so many things laying around at that site that I could use.
Yo, Dave, let's get those cans and let's go do that spot that I was telling you about.
But if he's got some construction site,
it's a finished. It's not that kind of place.
Can we paint in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
We'll go with you.
I'm going home. I got to go to sleep or something.
All right. Good night, everybody.
No, Ryan, thank you for coming in. That was great to have you.
Yes.
Ryan, hey, let me put my Instagram.
Yeah, do all that stuff.
I'll take care of you. I got you. Go.
You
for
know
it.
how to say all those words?
No, I don't. Go for it. What are your plugs?
RIMEMSK.com. RIME_MSK on Instagram. I'm going to be living in France, making a show for the next year. I'm an artist. I make paintings and shit. And I'm also traveling the world with my boy Dax and Swinsky, and maybe sometimes my boy Giz and shit. And we're making a documentary right now of our experience.
I will pop in when I can.
You should go upstate with us. Let's go on this
definitely
fucking
doing that,
thing upstate.
We're going to do the Cosm thing. And
maybe we'll get a fucking camper van and just go on a psychedelic adventure, road trip.
I'm Mr. Camper Van.
No, let's get a camper van and go on a psychedelic adventure, bro.
I'm ready to go.
Peace.
Wheel
Ryan,
out of LA.
Thank you very much, Ryan. We'll be back next week.